Hi everyone. How is everyone doing? How's your 2024 doing so far? Happy New Year, everybody. I know I've been sort of away from the video for a minute. I've had some kind of respiratory thing going on and it took me a minute to get into the doctor. Finally did, and she prescribed some medicine, so I'm hoping that that's going to be clearing up. You'll have to excuse my coughing as I'm apologizing in advance because I'm sure there will be some. But yeah, so how is everyone doing? Oh, before I forget, if any of you are interested in an Artdot canvas, they only have 7 designs, and normally they are $29.99 roughly to start, and you can get them in beginner, advanced, or pro level, which basically is the number of drills they come with as well as the number of ABs. I just got the beginner because that was fun with me. They're on sale right now for $9.99 for $10. So if you haven't tried one yet, or you think you might be interested in one of their 7 designs, go to artdot.com and pick those up, because you're not going to see them for less than that. So shinny on over there and then come back. Anyway, so how is everybody doing this evening? Hopefully your 2024 has started out swimmingly, at least I hope so. Still working on soulmates here, and I probably will be forever. Sorry guys. So, but there has been some progress. I mean, there's already, whoops, come on. There's already 2 panels done here, and working on the 3rd. So yeah, and if you think this is the only thing I'm working on, oh, you would be so incorrect, especially if you saw my WIP taking into 2024 video. So far I've gotten a corner done on this canvas with all these cool dragons on it. So yeah, lots of stuff happening. And I finished the purse that I showed you guys that I wanted to work on. And so that will be in a completion video pretty soon. I'm about halfway finished also with the coasters, the set of dragon coasters that I showed you guys before. So yeah, as soon as those are finished, doing the whole thing, so everybody will get to see them all at once. I am trying to come to grips with these square drills. I don't know how you guys do it. Really, those of you that like square drills, oh, you know, bowing to the excellence, because wow, let me just say, so not my forte. It has been, I've been riding the struggle bus with diamond painting with Jack for this whole time. However, you know, I'm trying to stay positive about them, and, you know, trying to do what I need to do to make it a good experience, but I literally don't know. I will say that I have had quite a bit of drill popping, and I don't know, is that something that just happens more with square drills? Because I don't usually notice any of that with rounds, even on the budget kits. But, and I was really surprised because this is a diamond art kit, and so I really did not anticipate having that kind of an issue. So those of you that do squares, let me know. Is it typical to have some popping drills when you're doing squares, or am I just doing something really wrong? Because that could happen too. So, but I am working on, you know, some round drill canvases and projects in between. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. I just was kind of surprised to see it be happening, especially here with, you know, Diamond Art Club. It's just, it's not a typical thing. Oh, that looks like a crummy drill right there. So let's get that out of here. That's the first, well, second piece of actual drill trash that I have had. And I did not catch it while it was in the tray. So now we have to do trashy drill removal from the sticky part. So has everybody been watching our fellow creators doing some stuff? I was noticing some of the people that are doing, there we go, that are doing, is it the Alice in Winter Wonderland or something, or that one's going on, and I think the Be the Hero superhero event that's going on right now. I don't currently have a canvas for that, so I'm not participating in that one. I will be doing Richard's from Real Men Craft too. His is coming up in March, the M&M event. So I did get my Minnie Mouse canvas, as I did an unboxing with that one, or unbagging, I guess, because it was Amazon. So I do have that one. It's ready to kit up when the time comes. So I'm planning on doing that in March, which hopefully will give me a chance to not only get some other projects completed, but hopefully make a serious dent in this one, because this one's going to take me months, you guys. Literally months. So, but since I love the artwork, I'm willing to make the sacrifice, you know. So yeah, that's what's happening. I noticed that there's a lot of people are doing their year in review for their diamond paintings. I will not be doing one of those, you know, for several reasons, but basically I won't be doing one for the end of 2023. I might consider doing one for the end of 2024. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. But there sure were a lot of people showing what they had accomplished, which was kind of wonderful to see. A lot of diamond paintings being finished out there, which is really kind of neat. I love that. I did my duty as far as I created another new diamond painter, which I thought was a good thing. One of the staff people that works with my son at the later end of the week, who's also a college student. She happened to see me doing some diamond painting when she was dropping him off or picking him up. Not really sure. I think she was dropping him off from the day. And saw me diamond painting and asked about it. And I, you know, of course told her that, you know, what it was and why it was fun, and that she should watch a couple videos, because boy, are there a bunch of people. And community is very important to her. She's a real tiny little mousy thing, and you know, very, very sweet, kind of naive. Like I said, she's a college student, but she has been so overprotected by parents, and so she needs to feel a part of a community, and she's not a drinker. So, you know, she makes college life a little hard because she doesn't do the type of stuff that a lot of college students do. So this was something that she thought she might really like. So she did. She actually followed my advice, because I thought, yeah, she may scan through it, but she probably isn't going to actually, you know, look at her that well. The joke was on me, because she sure did. And she was very enthusiastic about it. And so for Christmas, I gave her, let's see, I think I wrapped up probably 5 diamond paintings, and of different sizes, from snack size up to, I think the biggest was a 40 by 50 and the rest were 30 by 40s. So I gave her like 5 of those, which also gave me a chance to do some destashing, which, boy, was that nice. And I made her a mermaid cover minder, because she likes mermaids. So I made her one of those. I wrapped that up too. And gave her a better pen than the one that comes in the kits, although she's, you know, seems to be comfortable with the ones with the kits. So that was fine. I told her that way she has what she wants, but oh, she was so happy. She almost cried. She was just so delighted that she had all of these to choose from, and I gave her a, wide variety. Because I had some that I had gotten either as free gifts, or I had just picked up because I was getting something else and they were on sale, if buy one, get one kind of a thing. And so, but there wasn't a big selection, so I took the ones that were okay, but not that I was overly excited about. And so 2 of them were different versions, really, of Alice in Wonderland type things, scenery and whatnot. And so, I I just asked her, because she loves, like I said, she loves mermaids. Sorry, guys. So I gave her one that was a mermaid, and I also gave her an elf princess, and I gave her a really cute little black and tan puppy, and I gave her the 2 that were Alice in Wonderland, and I said, I hope you like Alice in Wonderland. She goes, oh my God, I love Alice in Wonderland. I said, great. And then I told her about the Alice in Wonderland event that goes on, usually I think it's different, it's based in different things, but it's all Alice in Wonderland. A couple times a year, different creators do one. So I said, if you find out that you really do like it, you might want to participate in an event when you're more comfortable. And oh, she just thought that was the cat's meow, that people get together and that they do the same kind of thing and they do it as a community, and she was all about it. So I am taking that as a good sign that she's going to be a happy-go-lucky diamond painter, in and around her homework from class, obviously. But yeah, she's been really happy with it, and so that made me happy. She's got a lot of stress in her life. It's not easy being, carrying a full load in college, plus working, plus being overprotected. And she lost her paternal grandmother last month, literally, I think 2 days before my father passed away. So she's had relatives in from out of town. Some of them had to get an emergency visa to come from other countries. So that was really chaotic during a time of real struggle. And now they're going home, and that's been a whole, separate set of struggle. And so it's just been a lot. So she was looking for a reason to just be quietly in her room and not have to, really participate with everyone else in the whole world. And, so she could not have been happier. So, yep. So I have created another diamond painter. So, yay. Another one for the good guys. And I said, I asked her, would you like to try it? And she said, sure, that she would like to try it before I gave her the gift. And I was working on some Nutcracker stickers, because I was going to use those as wrapping paper decoration for gifts I was giving for Christmas. And I was behind because I was trying to get projects done. And so I said, well, if you would like, you could finish these stickers for me. Really? Yeah, of course, really. So she's like, well, what if I screw it up? I said, sweetie, there is no way for you to screw this up. It's really fine. And I said, and if something happens, and it does, or you get a color wrong, it's not the end of the world. That's the beauty of crafting. It's supposed to be fun. So I said, you're supposed to enjoy it. It's supposed to be relaxing. If it's not those things, then we have to figure out why. So that kind of made her chuckle. She's like, okay. So she had so much fun and enjoyed it so much that she actually ended up staying overtime, which, I told her, I said, well, you're not going to get paid for that. I mean, you're more than welcome to stay, but I know that it's not going to be added to your paycheck. And she goes, that's okay. I'm having fun. Okay. So I let her boss know that I kept her over, and she understands it's not a work-related thing. But and I think she stayed, gosh, almost till the dinner hour. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, she had a really good time, and she went home and got her niece involved in it, which I think her niece is only 2 years younger than she is, maybe 3. So yeah, they got interested in it. So yeah, they were going to spend most of New Year's Eve working together on one of the bigger canvases that she'd gotten for Christmas from us. And so yeah, I guess it's technically 2 diamond painters, but yeah, got to keep the next generations involved, you know. And I think it's a good thing too, because she's very quiet. She's unobtrusive to a fault. Like, you never know for sure what she's thinking. So the nice thing about diamond painting is you can have a conversation and still do it. Like, you're not gonna ruin anything, you know, by having to talk and diamond paint at the same time. And she was much more relaxed and much more talkative while she was doing some diamond painting. So it's all positive. I got to have a nice conversation with her, you know, how are things going, you know, with my son out in the community, and were there any problems, were there behavioral concerns that I needed to talk with him about, or, you know, all of that. Oh no, he's fine. Okay. So yeah, it turned out to be a nice conversation, and she was more relaxed than I've seen her in months by the time she left. I think she didn't want to leave, and I told her she was welcome to stay for dinner, but she had family stuff that it was a command performance, so she had to go. So yeah, but boy, she gripped that bag full of diamond paintings like her life depended on it. I mean, she was really excited, so I was happy to see that, because I know that it's going to bring her happiness. She'll be really excited when she sees that she did an end result that turned out beautiful. I mean, it's a positive thing all the way around. It's a win-win. So yep, I created some new diamond painters. So yeah, it's been been a very interesting few weeks. I also had an interesting thing happen. So Bella Art Diamonds, which is also AKA Bella Art de Nicole. I had been seeing their new releases and their unboxings for the big release that they're doing on Saturday the 6th. And they had some really cute canvases and, you know, things, and I had sent them an email. I had asked one of the creators that had done an unboxing for them. I said, hey, how did you get in touch with them about, you know, letting them know that you were interested in doing unboxings for them and sneak peeks? And she said that Nicole had reached out to her earlier in the spring, I guess, and that she had told her then that she would love to. And so she said, but you know, you could just go ahead and contact them. Oh, okay. So I did, a little over a week ago now. I sent them an email. I said, hey, I introduced myself, and, you know, I said, hey, we're a military family too, and I'm really excited for you, and, you know, I just know it's going to be really successful, and incidentally, what are the requirements to do your sneak peeks and or your unboxings, you know, for your business? And I said, you know, I thought about it a lot, and I think I might be interested, but I'd like to know what the requirements are, because I have noticed that the creators that have been contacted that are fairly new, their channel is fairly new, like mine, all have more than 700 subscribers. So I thought, okay, well, I wonder if that's a requirement. Like they want you to have at least 500 or more, people, so that you're doing a major, because it's free advertising is what it is, people. So, a lot of times they want to make sure they're reaching as many people as possible, which of course they are because they're a business. And so I wanted to find out, is that in fact a requirement? Because, and by the way, I just hit 300 subs. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I can't even tell you. I really, really do. And so I knew that, there was some kind of criteria, right? Because there would have to be some kind of criteria. And so I just, asked them, and I said, I'm really excited for you, and I've been watching your unboxings, and they look really wonderful, and, I'm excited about it, and plan to look over for the potential of getting some on Saturday, and, thanks for answering the question, whenever you can. And y'all, guess what? Ghosted me. Totally and completely ghosted me. I'm like, wow, really? Now, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and just figure, well, maybe they missed the email because they've been busy trying to get ready for the release, or, they just, for whatever reason, hadn't looked at it recently. But I know that because they had some problems with some of the canvases and they were in touch with their supplier, I know that they've been in their email. But yeah, nothing, not a peep. Which, I thought was pretty bad. I mean, I just asked a question. All you had to do was, just say, oh, well, here's what it has to be. And, thanks for the inquiry. And, let us know if you get that far in, or, whatever. And so that was my goal. So, that's why it was literally just an inquiry. It wasn't like, I wasn't demanding anything. I wasn't trying to get industry secret. I just wanted to just find out, what is the criteria that you use to determine, who does affiliate work for you, or who does your unboxings or your sneak peeks, and not a peep. So, yeah, that was really disappointing. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I was especially surprised since a premium company that we all know treated them so badly, and, wasn't kind when they emailed. And I thought, well, of course they wouldn't want to come across that way. Well, I don't know what to say about it because, yeah, ghosted completely. So, yeah, that was that. And guys, I mean, it's really fine. Like, I'm not losing sleep over it. I just thought it was, it was an unfortunate way that they handled it, especially when they're trying hard to launch their business and put a lot of time and effort into it, and had to overcome some stuff because of what happened with the premium company. And yeah, I just had higher expectations. So big disappointment there. But yeah, that was the only level of weirdness, I think, with the diamond painting that I had. So yeah. And like I said, now that I've been fighting this, this annoying respiratory thing, I've done a lot more watching and a lot less talking, because, when you can't get enough air, the last thing you want to do is, have to converse with lots of people. So it was kind of nice to be able to have all the stash videos and the 2023 completion videos from our fellow creators to kind of watch while I was not feeling especially fantastic. And so, yeah, so I did. But yeah, I don't know what went on with that. It was weird. Anyway, did you make New Year's resolutions, and have you kept them so far? We're 3 days in, people. Have you kept your New Year's resolutions? Did you bother to make any? Did you just figure, I don't need that kind of pressure, so you didn't? Or what happened? Let me know in the comments whether or not you're on the you're on the straight and narrow train when it comes to your New Year's resolutions. Mine was what it always is around this time of year, to try to uncomplicate my life enough so that I have more days of peace and less days of stress. I'm hoping that things are going to more or less calm down. I mean, I have to get a new roof for my house this year, so that's stressful. But right now, every time it rains, I get a pond in my living room, which is not working out. So I have to get it done. So I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to do that fairly easily, although it hasn't been so far. We've had 3 separate estimates, and man, what a difference. Ranging, you guys, from $7,600 to $22,000. Now, remember, I live in a mobile home, so it's not like, we're not asking for expensive material. We're not asking for anything decorative. We just want it to stop leaking. So come on. But boy, there is such a difference in estimates and what they cover and don't cover, and what the warranty is and isn't, and all of that stuff, which you have to consider, when you're going to have a contractor up there. And because I live in California, we've had big issues, trying to maintain our homeowners. We were lucky because my husband was retired military, so we were able to go through, USAA and find a company that would take us. But, most of the homeowner companies that are still in the state, which aren't very many, most of them are leaving because they're hemorrhaging money from the wildfires. So there haven't been, people even willing to sign. So you actually have to go, there's a thing called the California FAIR, FAIR program, where it's a separate sort of program that will provide you with fire coverage, and then you have to get the rest of the coverage through another company. So I can't tell you how complicated that has been, especially since the FAIR program has been unbelievably behind, because they've had tens of thousands of applicants because they're all in the same boat as we are. So that's been complicated, because I definitely do not want a contractor on my ready to cave in roof at any moment without homeowners for obvious reasons. Yeah, so that's been a little crazy making, to say the least. So, but we are able to retain our insurance. We're just doing the fine print now to make sure everything's good. The renewal is good. Everything's fine. Our mortgage company understands what's happened and all of that, because they're in Tennessee, so they're not even anything close to local. So they have no idea what all this is about or why it's happening. So to say it's been complicated would really be an understatement, but it has been complicated. So yeah, it has not been an easy thing to do, and it took us several months even to get this much information. So yeah, it was just, we got a thing in the mail saying from our insurance company one day in early August, I think, or late July, saying, hey, just wanted to let you know that we're not going to be renewing your policy in November because, fires. So yeah, good luck. And that was it. Like, nothing else. Nothing about try here, go there, do, here's where you should start the process. If you need this program, here's where you go. No, nothing. Just, we have to give you 75 days notice, so here it is, and good luck to you. And that was the extent of that. So, yep, we had to find out all this other fun stuff, which wasn't at all fun, on our own. And then what it meant, and then what, if anything, we could do about it. And if we couldn't do anything about it, what happens, and just the whole shebang. And of course, that was happening in the middle of, my dad being in hospice and getting worse, having to go to skilled nursing, and my best friend, who's still in the hospital in LA, she was having the most dangerous surgery she could have, which is why she was at a tertiary hospital in LA. So, yep, all of that was happening at the exact same time, which is why when I said, I'm really ready to put this year in the rearview mirror, I really meant it. So, yep. So, like I said, my New Year's resolution is uncomplicate my life as much as I can, have more time to diamond paint, talk to you wonderful people, and, try to have some semblance of a life that isn't trying to work me toward a heart attack. So yeah, that is what has been the case so far. It's always fun when life throws you unexpected twists and turns. I mean, the ones that are expected are bad enough, but it's the unexpected where you go, really? Really, life? What was that about? So, yeah. It's hard to believe that just, it was just June that we had taken my best friend, to Las Vegas to celebrate her birthday, because she had a terrible year up to that point, because her mom had passed away at the end of December last year. And because the house was in a reverse mortgage, she had to get the house remodeled and sold ASAP. And that was complicated. Fortunately, there was plenty of equity in the house. She had been living there since she was 5, and she just turned 55 in June. So yeah, when her father died when we were in the 7th grade, when we were 13, and that was rough. It was rough forever. One of the things that she had said to me after her mother passed last year was, she said, it feels like losing my dad all over again. And I said, well, that's because now you're grieving him as an adult, not as a child. So I'm not surprised that that's entering the equation, but it's okay to do that too. A lot of unresolved stuff came with that. At the time her father died, her mother was undergoing chemotherapy for stage 4 breast cancer. So we really thought she was going to be an orphan for a while. My parents were looking at trying to adopt her, because the only family that she had was on the East Coast, and they didn't want to see her have to give up her friends, her school, her teachers, everything that mattered to her, and lose her parents at the same time. So, yeah, but by golly, her mother, when she did the radiation and the chemo, she actually kicked cancer's behind, and it never came back, ever, which is kind of amazing. 40 years, and she never once had any kind of a relapse. And thank God, because my friend also has a younger brother who's big-time heroin abuser. And so it took both of them to try to keep, some stability, and with him freaking out and doing stuff and getting in trouble with the law. And just everything. So it was a lot. And then when her mother passed, more or less unexpectedly, she was 89, but she was, moving right along. But she got a respiratory illness that just got worse and worse and worse. So she finally had to call 911 to take her to the hospital because she did not sound good. And so she did, and right before Christmas, and then she never came home. So everything was just a shambles, because she hadn't touched it since her dad died in 1983. And so just everything, I mean, my friend had to just try to figure out everything from beginning to end in the midst of her grief, in the midst of trying to deal with, you know, telling her brother, look, we got to get the house remodeled. You're going to have to live somewhere else. And him refusing to do it. And just, I mean, there was so much. And then, so we had taken her in June, because her birthday happens to be Flag Day on the 14th. And so we had taken her just, you know, so she could just breathe some free air for a minute and not have to deal with every headache imaginable right now. So we went, we had a private box seats to see Cirque du Soleil, which we loved. She loved. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. I mean, we just got to do everything that each of us wanted to do. We just really had a wonderful time. And I'm so glad looking back that we did that, because, and I had given her choice. I said, okay, Lise, here's what's going to happen. We want to take you somewhere for your birthday. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the mountains? Do you want to go to the beach? Do you want to go to an amusement park? Do you want to go, where would you like to go? And so she only thought about it for a minute. She goes, I'd really like to go to Vegas. I said, you got it. So we did. So we got a hotel room at Excalibur, which was lots of fun for those of us that play D&D, because, you know, has all the knights and all the stuff and the medieval looking place. So that was pretty cool. And then we got to see shows and just had just an amazing time. She got to get all dressed up for her birthday, and we were traveling along the strip in electric scooters, because I use an electric mobility scooter anyway. And so my husband and my son and my friend, I said, let's rent them, because otherwise whoever has to walk is not going to be able to keep up. It's going to be a headache. Like, we just need to, everybody needs to be in one. And we need to keep each other in sight, because, yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like, if you disappear or get hit by a car, yeah, no. So we're going to have to be able to, you know, see each other and do whatever. So we were all in electric scooters. Okay. That was fine. And then as we decided that we would go ahead and scooter our way down, because the Cirque du Soleil was at the Bellagio, which is a beautiful, beautiful, expensive hotel. And we were staying at Excalibur, which is on the other end of the strip. So we said, hey, because we were going to try to take a cab, and then it was like, well, you have to get a handicap cab, because otherwise there's no way for me to transport my scooter and all this other stuff. And so we finally decided, hey, why don't we just leave early and just, you know, scooter down there? And that gives us a chance to see all the hotels and all the neon and everything that was lit up, and, you know. So we're like, yeah, let's do that. So it was hilarious, because we scootered down there, the four of us. We looked like it was, you know, scooter races is what it looked like. And some people said some stupid things, because most of the time they were drunk. But we had a great, great time. And I had gotten her a sash that said birthday girl. So, you know, here we are, we're all dressed up, we're on our scooter. She has her sash on. I told her, you have to wear it all day. So, like, because I got it for her when we went to have breakfast. And so she was wearing it after she changed into her birthday outfit that she was wearing. She had a beautiful dress on. And so she's scootering down, and I'm not kidding you, 200 people wished her a happy birthday, which was fantastic, because you know, she struggles with depression. She has a hard time in a lot of ways with her depression, and it did her a world of good to have all these total strangers going, "Hey, happy birthday." And I was behind her, and I kept hearing this little, "Thank you very much, oh, thank you so much." And I'm like, "Is that 200 of your friends wishing you happy birthday?" She just smiled. She goes, "Yeah, apparently." Okay, good. And then at the end of the evening, when we finally got back at, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and she gave me a big hug, and she goes, "Thank you, I really needed that." And I gave her a big hug. I said, "I know, and you're welcome, and happy birthday." So we had a wonderful time. I mean, we were there, I think it was 4 days total. And we came back, and then she went back up to the Bay Area, which is where we're from, to get her stuff because she was getting ready to move down here. She asked if she could stay with us until she bought a place. So her house had to sell, and then she was going to buy a place down here in the same town that we live in. And, you know, of course, we said, "Sure, of course you can." And so she moved down on July 5th, so right after 4th of July. And she got sick July 12th. That was her first ER visit. By the end of July, she was already in the hospital for what would be the first of 5 separate times, culminating in having to be transferred down to a tertiary hospital in LA, hoping that they could save her life because she was so critically ill. So they did save her life. It required open heart surgery, but they did. But like, she hasn't been out of the hospital more than 5 or 6 days, and then she ends up back in by hospital. She kind of deteriorates, and then she ends up back in. So we're trying to put an end to that cycle at the same time as we're trying to get her to recover. But, you know, she spent the anniversary of her mother's passing, the 1-year mark, in the hospital in intensive care. You know, her first Thanksgiving and Christmas without her mother. She was supposed to be down here with us celebrating it at our home. Nope, she was in the hospital. Then she went from the hospital to skilled nursing, and that was disastrous. And she just got worse and worse and worse. So, I mean, it's been a year that we are just glad is gone. So I'm hoping that now that she's had her valve replacement in her heart and, you know, some other serious things that are going on, and she's had very intensive treatment for some other things, I'm hoping that next time she comes out of the hospital, she'll be able to stay out, because really, this is no place for a 55-year-old to have to live her life. So that's part of what's going on. So I was trying to juggle that because I was the only decision maker she had, because she doesn't have any more family. Her brother, she's estranged from her brother. She hasn't heard from him since they split the money from the sale of the house. I don't expect that she'll hear from him again. So that happened, and her parents are gone. So I was the only one left, and she told the hospital that I was to be the medical decision maker if she couldn't make the decision for herself. And I thought, the first time they called me, and I went, "Oh God, is that what she said?" And they said, "Yep, okay." So that was on my plate, because, you know, she would take 3 steps forward and 4 steps back, and every time I was getting a call every other day, "This is what has happened now, and this happened overnight, and this happened in the early hours this morning, and, you know, we need permission to do this, that, and the next thing." And I just, so while I was trying to deal with skilled nursing and hospice for my dad, because he was clearly getting ready to depart, and that was going on with my best friend, I mean, yeah, it was more than I care to ever have to deal with at one time again. Thank you very much. So, looking forward to what I hope is going to be a calmer 2024. And hopefully by the end of this year, I will have had a new roof, so my home will stop leaking. And, you know, my friend will be out of the hospital and living her life, getting a place of her own. And, you know, just, yeah, things will get back to whatever state of quasi-normal they normally are. And, yep, we can all move on and get through the next year and the year after that. It was especially hard, too, because I paid to bring my older sons out right around Veterans Day, because we had to clear some stuff out of my father's home. And you know, it was a really quick kind of a last minute thing, because we knew that the bank was going to, you know, come after us because, again, reverse mortgage. So, you know, my brother was, you know, adamant that we're not going to try to do anything with this house. We couldn't sell it for enough to make any difference. So we, you know, he said, whatever you want out of the house, you should make sure to get before they lock it up. Okay. So that became a big deal. So I flew my sons out. I mean, it was good to see them, and it's always good to see them under any circumstances because I miss them very much. But it wasn't a social visit, you know, like there was things we had to accomplish in a very short period of time. And they didn't get to bring my grandkids with them because they didn't bring any of the significant others either. So I didn't get to see my grandkids over the holiday at all, so that was really upsetting. So, you know, it was just really a year. So, but I think I've gotten it through that. You know, the other thing that needed to happen was I wanted my sons to have a chance to say goodbye to their grandpa, knowing that my dad wasn't going to be around for much longer, and that, you know, they loved him so much and he loved them and had such a nice relationship with them. And he was a fantastic father. He was an even better grandfather. And so I knew that if they didn't get to say goodbye to him, it was going to be terrible forever. So I took them to the skilled nursing facility while they were up here. We spent one day where, after we did all the cleaning and gathering that we were going to do, we had a couple of days left. So my middle son turned 30 while he was out here. And so we went out to dinner and they sang to him and all of that. So that was fun. And then one of the days I took them to see their grandpa. And that turned out to be the last time. And I knew that that was probably the case. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure that we got them out there. And so we did. And so it was an important time. And my dad got to talk to them and tell them how much he loved them. And they got to do the same thing. And you know, my dad said it multiple times. I mean, he really wanted to make sure that they understood that he adored them and that, you know, he wished that things were different. And they basically said the same thing. And so then when they left there, they had a hard time. There were tears. But had we not gone, it would have been so much worse. Because then when I had to call them at the beginning of December, less than a month later, and let them know that he had passed, I mean, the saving grace was that they had just seen him less than a month ago. So, yeah, that was a lot, you guys. So, at the risk of being Debbie Downer again, which I don't want to be, believe me when I tell you, this year better be so much better. Otherwise, I'm going to have a long conversation with the management, because really, no more of that. So, yep, hoping 2024 is just full of nothing but positive things. So, yeah, it's been quiet so far, knocking on wood, because don't want to jinx it. But so far, so good. We had a nice, quiet New Year's. I mean, we just basically stayed home and watched a little TV and had a good stiff drink and watched the clock turn to midnight and gave each other hugs and kisses and said, hey, Happy New Year. And went to bed. And then we got up when the Rose Parade came on, and we watched that while we celebrated the fact it was 2024. So yeah, but I think after the year we had, that peaceful was a good way to spend New Year's, because wowzer, it was a lot for a minute there. Yeah, so that's what's been happening around here. Not a heck of a lot, but stressful stuff. So that's been going on. My Chihuahua has been working with an animal behaviorist. His gotcha day is coming up. It's actually this month. And so I've been asking her if, she thinks it would still be a good idea, or is it a bad idea to, take him out in the world, because he has got some issues. He had been returned to the shelter 3 times, which I don't understand that either. I mean, I understand not wanting to deal with it, but each of those times definitely made him worse. So, yeah. And all the shelter did was like, okay, so he had an incident. Okay, so he was aggressive. Okay. Didn't do well with the young kids. Oh, okay. Then they just wrote that down in there and put him back out there. And whoever came in with the right amount of money could take him home again. And they did nothing to help the dog, except they decided, well, let's get him neutered and maybe he won't, be as aggressive. But he was 4 years old. Like, really? Now you're getting him neutered. Okay, so they got him neutered. But, yeah, it didn't help his aggression. So, and when we went in for the meet and greet, I mean, he suckered us right in, because, he's adorable. Even today, he's 5 pounds of adorable hellion, but even the animal behaviorist calls him a cobra, because, he'll seem to be completely fine, or he'll just be growling, and then all of a sudden he lunges and he'll strike. And so, she always says, whenever you're dealing with the cobra, stay out of the strike zone, because, he doesn't even have a lot of teeth. I don't know if they had them removed or if something happened to them and they came out naturally. And we asked the vet when we took him in for his well check, and he didn't know either. But he thought it was weird because they were almost taken out in symmetrical patterns on each side. So it's a little suspect that it was anything, natural that happened. But, he said, didn't the shelter say anything? And I said, nope, not a peep. Only thing we knew is that his family of origin brought him in originally along with his mother and his sister, and said that they had lost their home and they were getting to go into a new living situation, and they couldn't take the dogs with them, which was a shame. I mean, 3 adorable little purebred chihuahuas, and they couldn't take them with. And so we, said, well, do you know his birthday? And they actually did. So we know exactly how old he is. So, but he was very sweet and very loving at the meet and greet. He suckered us in, people. Really. just loved us to death, gave us licks and kisses, and those big brown eyes of his were just looking at us like, you want to take me home, don't you? And of course we did. And then Cujo formed. Yep, 4-pound Cujo, and oh man, he has put us through our paces ever since. But I will say he's getting much better. You know, working with the animal behaviorist has been a good thing. And she's kind of explained it to us in some of the things where we just didn't understand why he was doing certain things. You know, she was able to help us understand that, which made it easier for us to know what to do about it. So that's all been good. Except it's also exhausting, because originally he was supposed to be an emotional support animal for my son. Well, no. Those of you who own Chihuahuas or have ever owned them know that they pick their people, and there's nothing you can do or say to change it. So he picked me. So now it's really exhausting because I'm the one that has to deal with him, because I'm the only one that can do it without, you know, getting maimed. So he is something else. But he's doing really well with his training, and it's been interesting to see, you know, how he uses his little mind, because he definitely thinks, and he's smart, and so that makes it even worse, because if only he'd use his powers for good instead of evil. But no, he's always out there, you know, pitching, trying to make everyone's day a little bit harder. Fortunately, the nice thing is he is very food and toy motivated. So that worked out beautifully. And then so we got him in January. And then in February, we did find a dog, an ESA for my son. So, and then we had just a family pet before all of that happened that we had gotten from a shelter in 2018. So now we are a 3-dog household, but we wanted, you know, 3 easygoing little, you know, sit on your lap and look cute dogs. We did not expect to have the trauma type animals that we have, but you know, keeps life interesting for sure. And having the help of the animal expert has been a good thing. But yeah, he's something else, that little boy of mine. We have 2 girls and a boy. This is the first male dog I've had since I was a kid. I mean, literally, I think the last time I had a male dog, I had a purebred dachshund, and when I was 8, and I think that's the last time. All the animals, all the canines that I've had since then have all been girls. So it took some doing getting used to having a boy around again, because wow, he was something else. So, and you know, girl dogs don't go around marking things, right? So yeah, I found it very upsetting that seemed to be his goal in life, was to mark every wall, chair, tree, piece of furniture we owned. And I was like, come on, seriously? But you know, I don't think he had ever truly been housebroken. And you know, he was neutered so late in life. I mean, you know, 4 years old, he's pretty well set in his ways and pretty used to having, you know, the hormone rush when he wants it. So yeah, it was a little tricky trying to get some of that under control. But again, it worked in our favor that he is so food and toy motivated, because I mean, he will do anything for a good treat and a toy. He has favorite toys. He has Yellow Bird, which is a really tiny little yellow bird toy, and Teddy. He picked out Teddy. I took him. He was a good boy out in the world one day, and I took him to PetSmart and told him, you know, let him pick a toy. And he picked this little teeny tiny, barely there little teddy bear. And those are the two that he never is without, ever. Everything is okay if Teddy and Yellowbird are with him under the covers. If they're not there, nope, nobody's going to bed till we find them. So, yeah. That's another thing. If you've never had a Chihuahua, you have to understand that you're going to have a 2-year-old. You're going to have a toddler for 15 to 20 years. So, talk about a level of dedication. Holy cow. So yeah, that's been our experience with that little man. So, but I tell him all the time, it's a good thing you're cute. I mean, really, it's your saving grace, buddy, or you would have been in orbit long ago. So, that's the story with the 3 dogs. Each of their names starts with a G, so, which wasn't intentional, but it sort of worked out that way. So, we call them G-Force. And, yeah. They make our lives interesting, if not complex. Yeah, that's where we are with that, guys. How long have I kept you? Quite a while. Over an hour. Okay. So let me wrap this up. I will just tell you that I have been waiting on some deliveries because I think the holidays were a little problematic for some of the deliveries that I was expecting. But I do have an unboxing. Actually, I have 2 unboxings. I'm waiting on 4 different companies, which all should be in the next 5 to 7 days. So you're going to get a bunch of videos back to back here in a little bit. Hopefully I'll be feeling way better by then. So that's what's going to be happening with that. You're going to get lots of unboxings. As soon as I finish, I'm halfway through the coasters, as I said. So as soon as I finish those, I'll be doing a completion video that has those, as well as the purse, as well as, you know, anything else that I may have finished by then. So yeah, that's everything. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what are you working on? What kind of diamond painting is going on in your life? And again, if you are a square drill person and you love square drills, please let me know if this drill popping thing is me, or just the canvas, or just the drills, or, you know, it's Diamond Art Club, so it's not, you know, like the drills are bad. I mean, I've had a few pieces of trash, but not very many. So yeah, I just don't know what to make of it, you guys. All right, that's what's happening. I hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of their week. And yeah, oh, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Yeah, I need to see if getting more subs means that, you know, there might be a PR package in my future. Who knows? Anyway, I hope everybody is doing fine and enjoying the new year. And be on the lookout for those unboxings. They will be up and running very soon. So yeah, and to all my new subs, welcome aboard. I'm so glad to have you here. I hope you enjoy the content. If you have any kind of questions or any kind of video you'd like to see, please put it in the comments, and I will do what I can to get that done for you. And for all of you who are returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and for joining me at my channel and continuing to be supportive. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys very soon in the next video. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.